to the first session of 5D20 Urban Arcana. There has been a session 0 in which characters were created, and at the end of that creation, your mission, your tutorial as it were, was outlined to you, but we will repeat it just to be sure. You are to be looking into the Delfino family. By all accounts, they are a common criminal outfit, and they don't have a connection to Shadowkind activities. This is entirely despite the fact that the boss and underbosses are all tieflings. So apparently they are all tieflings, but they run a totally normal criminal organization. They deal in weapons and drugs, and they have money that is being laundered by an independent gang. There was a tip-off that something about this is either not true, incorrect, or unexplained, and it's been left to you to find out what the fuck is going on, and if need be, put a stop to it. You have been warned ahead of time that, like, vigilante shit is generally not a good idea, and it is going to be in, like, a quite populous place, so obviously try not to get in a fight, especially, like, you know, when, in the daytime, when there could just be random civilians. I will in fact show you the office blocks. The idea is buildings here. There is a big one ringed in purple. It is that block. Or more importantly, they have a few offices in that building as their front building, as it were. Obviously, they've got warehouses in other places and trucks and all sorts of bullshit to move things around and connections to very seedy places, but they have offices in, as you might be able to see there, a pretty fucking central area. You guys are Cell D. This is the 4th agent cell of the castle, and you are a freshly recruited group. You probably had, in the cases of most, quite basic training in the ways that the castle expects you to operate. But, well, you have a certain degree of autonomy. You have one connection directly to the castle, and that is one Agent Ira. She is the one who set you up in this place, and, you know, is in charge of keeping contact and passing work on to you, and there is blooping coming through someone's speaker.
It's Freya.
Freya, got a little cogwheel, and turn off background chat beep, because it is making
Alright, I can do
beeps.
that. There we go. Problem solved.
Thank you.
I wasn't sure if it was from Discord or from whatever. Yeah, it's solved now.
Thank you. But yes. Then we will jump on over to the safe house. You've probably only been moved into the place for about 3 to 4 days. As it is, there is nothing special about your safe house. It can house up to 6 people comfortably. You have fuck all in the garage, you have fuck all in the armory, and your intelligence technology room is a laptop with a satcom and a laptop. Now, the satcom itself is only useful for making contact with the castle, unless people do some hackery jiggery pokery, and you just have a top.
Really spent all our money on that TV, didn't we?
Nah, that was Agent Era's gift. What do you mean your money? Okay.
Oh,
I have a smartphone, so I'm good.
It's true, you have a smartphone. Otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty basic place. Let's learn some things about you guys. You've been around each other now for about 3 days in a busy city. It's probably the height of summer, so it's fucking scorchingly hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alright then. Let's start with you. Edrison, describe yourself and what have you been getting up to for like the past 3 days?
That's a Good question. What have I been getting up to? Scribing self. Basically, as you see on the token, big buff elf dude with
Glorious golden locks.
golden glorious golden locks. Yes, and a smug grin.
You're a paladin, all the ways that entail. Let's see what kind of gear you're toting. I like it. A trench bar axe and an actual lance.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
the
you
lance
have
is
an,
for later. It doesn't. It's staying in my room for now.
you have an actual lance.
For now, for the bike.
Nice, nice.
Otherwise, you've got some leather armor that's been done up to look quite modern, as it were.
It's a leather jacket. It's basically a thick leather jacket.
Yep. Smartphone, cuffs, rope. Great.
Johnny Bravo mirror.
That is very important. Yeah, how have you been spending these 3 days?
Mostly getting settled in, relaxed.
Yeah, what does Edrison do to relax? There are bars, there are clubs, there are places to watch people play sports ball.
Probably one of the sports bars and that.
Cool, cool. Let's see. Alright then. Next up, Ariel. Describe yourself and what have you been getting up to for 3 days?
All right. Well, Ariel is a bunny girl, in the actual sense of tall rabbit ears, fluffy tail on her back. She's got huge knockers. G's for goddams. Plush ass, everything like that. She's been more unpacking, settling in, seeing the town, and playing with a more private toy collection.
Of course. I see you are walking with a silence pistol and a shivvy for shivving.
That's right.
Okie dokie. Stop. Amersham. Who are you, what are you, and what have you been doing?
Amersham is... well, I think you all know what a goblin is. He is perhaps the most goblin of all. He's very small, very green, big red eyes, and a sort of curious but evil-looking smile that he wears all of the time. He's been mostly lurking in his room, playing with a child's chemistry set.
Excellent.
Which he insists is a perfectly functional set of alchemy supplies.
Alright, awesome. Alright, Vatka. Who are you?
Yeah.
What have you been doing over these past 3 days?
Vatka is a shadowclone human who dropped in from Russia sort of area and got involved with the mob and all that entails, and eventually ended up somehow here. What she normally does during her downtime would be a mixture of either reading or trying to keep up to date with the modern world with her mobile phone, keep updated with social trends and all that, because she is a shadowkind human. So she finds it not that she cares what people think as such. She doesn't like standing out for a lack of knowledge.
Alright, fair enough.
What she's wearing, I don't know what they're called. I wouldn't call them joggers, a bit more fashionable than that, and a tank top in the summer. And
Okay.
she'll usually leave her coat hang up. Otherwise, she'll probably work out and go to a club or two in the evening.
Realize that you must have copy-pasted the healer feat directly out of the book because all of the kerning in it is completely broken.
Copied what? Sorry.
Your feat was directly copied from the book into your sheet because it just had like weird spaces just in the middle of letters and no paragraphing. That makes attacks. You
Oh
should
yeah,
Like-
that's what it does
like-
from the book.
Like, fuck am I writing all that out?
Yeah,
Look,
no,
just
of
put
course.
put into Google,
it.
and then that fixes that up pretty well. That's what I found.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think she's got do you want to talk through what equipment I've got, or?
Oh yeah, of course. You have a compact framed silenced shotgun, which is pretty fucking cool, and then you spent the rest of your budget on a nice phone.
Yeah.
And last but certainly not least, Adam, describe yourself and what have you been doing over the 3 years? 3 years, 3 days.
Apparently I'm Australian, gonna fuck you.
Hey Bob, you're muted. I miss that guy.
Oh, what? Sorry, I'm doing my taxes. But-
Oh, right. Describe your character and what have you been doing over the past 3 days of just like getting settled in and shit.
Let me see. He's tall, blonde. Russian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does he feel about revolvers?
He really likes them. Also westerns.
Oh, fuck yeah, of course. What have you been doing over your 3 days of settling in time?
But probably, let me see, combination of exercising. Microphones. And
You didn't make that one out.
good. You weren't supposed to.
Exactly.
And watching probably way too many spaghetti westerns.
Excellent. Now, I noticed that amongst all of this, none of you said that you made any kind of attempt to get to know any of the people in your group.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I'm
mean-
sitting in the middle of the room.
This is true.
Look,
to-
if it,
to
if it
be
happened,
fair, To be fair, I can't remember what Pets did, because I think I have myself muted, but Ariel was in her room the entire time.
Yeah,
The goblins
and,
in the room
and
are
it's
fine.
been out at sports bars for the past 3 days. It's true. That's what I'm just
I
saying.
mean-
Like, literally none of you have been like, oh yeah, I mean, I've tried to get to know my companions. I just love it that
I
all of you
might-
been like, we've been doing exactly just our own shit for 3 straight days.
I mean,
look,
she
we
might have-
gotta
she might
have
have
the
left-
whole entire thing, you know.
She has like left. She might have left the building with Ed, since they both have been out. I don't know. And Adam's been working out, so they might have used the same working out room, unless they've got their own like private,
Working out
Dunno,
room, that's
crap in their
nice.
whatever the fuck you want to call it. So
At
mean,
best, there are
depends-
some like dumbbells that you have like rolled under a table somewhere. There's a thing called a gym, a gym that people go to.
yeah, so it could be that we go to the same gym or whatever. I don't know. But otherwise,
Yep.
So I mean, that there is room for like her to have interacted with some of the people who didn't get cooped up in their room for 3 days.
Look,
Fair
I wasn't in there the entire time. I was out for meals, so we probably could have conversed a little bit at meals.
So here's a speaking of meals, do like any of you cook? Do any of you prepare meals for like others?
I can cook.
I don't have the
I've
skill
got-
for it, but I can make basic stuff, you know.
I don't know what skills you use, but I assume that a mixture of
It's either dex
wisdom
or
and
int.
dexterity. Oh, not wisdom. You can't recall how to use a recipe book.
Using those is intelligence.
All right.
If you were
well,
to follow
I've got high
if you were to
dexterity.
follow instructions off a book, that would be intelligence text. But regardless, yes, dexterity. You can slice an onion
Well,
without
I've got good
crying.
dexterity.
You can have assistance for me, like also helping you out.
But I think she'll cook for when she has her own dietary needs. But if anyone else needs food at the time, she'll cook for them.
Fair enough.
If they. So it's not really for other people as such. It's more of a if it's convenient.
Sure.
I
Does
think
anyone have
I'm
any
off.
weird dietary choices or locations? Does Ariel in
No, I
fact
meant
eat
more-
lots of carrots?
What I
Look,
meant was.
Yes, it happened. All right, it's a side effect from being a bunny. I like carrots more than like meats and more. Meats are still good. It's just you eat more carrots.
That wouldn't be an issue. I meant more of a because she works out a lot, she'll have to plan meals around that realistically.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure, it's probably like a tub of like protein powder just like sat in the bottom of a cupboard somewhere. Here's the question: strawberry or banana protein powder? Because everyone knows the chocolate stuff makes you want to vomit.
Plain.
Plain?
Go hardcore.
God, are
Like
you a
Nutella?
fucking sociopath? Oh wait, never mind.
The fact that you even have to ask.
Oh, that's unfortunate there, Bob. You have fun cleaning that.
Hmm.
Okay. Sure hope your floors are wood.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad if it's carpet. Be real bad.
Savin's determination out of carpeting amuses me.
Oh wait, can it be coffee flavored powder?
I mean, it's
Probably.
probably called coffee, but it's definitely the kind of thing that you would refer to in air quotes.
Right, well, we'll call it coffee.
Okay.
And then she'll stick actual coffee powder when she has it.
It's just like a pot of that like instant latte creamer powder because it's the same consistency. Ugh. Ugh.
Someone's gonna have a real bad day when they mistake it.
Oh god, that makes my tongue feel thick. Like, sure, I've been in a position where I've shotgunned like latte sachets, but I wouldn't recommend it. Especially not with just like protein powder.
That's what she spends her money on, getting top quality protein powder and coffee mixes.
Fair enough. Okay, not hearing that anyone has like a weird dietary requirements besides that. I don't know. Let's see here. It would be then.
The last thing Ed is vegan.
Yeah. It would be then in the morning of the 4th day. Agent Era is going to pop by. And more importantly, she's like, knocks on your door and then unlocks it with a key anyway and enters. She's got a grocery bag just full of like just food and snacks and stuff.
It's like fucking having a parent come home.
It
It's one of her adoptive children.
It is.
Hi,
She's got to
just
look after.
throws food at you.
She's got to look after her brand new retards.
Yeah. Well, I'll greet your analyst and say, hey, Ariel, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a few days. You finally got a mission for us?
That is correct. I have some work for you guys. First, yeah, like we can pop that in the fridge. Like dust our hands off. You can see that the contents is mostly just fruit and beer. It's not
Fruit
a
and beer,
smart
what?
shopper.
A good combination.
If I call I the bag, then I Era, and then I the bag again.
I don't know. Maybe
then
you've
that's
laid
it,
your
like-
fridge out.
And then she'll mutter, "Guess who's still gonna have to go shopping?"
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. She turned like she thinks she's taking care of you, but like her gifts to you guys was instead of like vehicles or shit, it was a big car. No, sorry, a big TV. And she turned up with fruit and beer because she's like, that seems about right. People like fruit and alcohol, right? That'll keep them going.
Yeah, it'll keep it going.
Sorry, I
I'll
just
have to
realized.
go to an actual grocery sometime.
No, this is at the rooms. What room is this?
Uh,
This is the armory.
that would
but
be
what
your
is
yeah.
this?
That is your garage with nothing in it but a washing machine.
Alright, cool.
At some point, you could have a big shiny car in it, or a van, or motorbikes.
Sometime, eventually, down the line, we'll get there.
Yeah. Say, can you fetch Mr. Amersham as well, please?
I attempt to open his door.
I'll unlock it. Don't you worry.
It
Sure.
probably doesn't need unlocked. Hopefully not.
There's
She'll hop
plenty
over
of
the table.
me.
Wanna roll into it, try and pick a lock?
Amersham, if your door is locked, then yeah, go for it. Give me a test for lockpicking.
What do I have to roll?
You've got a
You
button.
need the thieves' tools proficiency.
Yeah, which is my thing.
Oh, I don't have these pros, but I've got good stats for lockpicking.
You could do it raw, but it takes you time, and not having tools, imposes risks like just breaking locks. So you should probably leave it to someone else, or just like actually get Amersham to leave the room instead of just like a bunch of psychopaths breaking in.
Alright, okay, wait,
Listen,
wait,
I'll
wait,
knock on the door. Amashab,
Shoo-
Ira's here. Come on, we got missions.
She'll shout angry Russian through the door at him.
I can speak Russian, so what do you say?
Get the fuck out of here, you little monkey. The boss is here.
Yeah, I like it. Locked it.
you guys see the door tremble as Amersham thumps into it before opening it.
He's like a fucking dog.
Yeah, no, Ira's like just winding up, like just got a little finger in her ear and she's just. Yep, that's that familiar Amersham voice. Yeah, I have some work for a lot of you. Insert exposition about the Delfino family. She'll give you a little SD card. You can put it in your laptop and check, but it's basically got a photo of the building and photos of members of the family. But what would you like to ask her?
Oh, God, we did a lot of this before.
What is the suspicion that have led us onto having to investigate them?
Simply put, they promise to, just do normal crime and stay out of everyone's way. And there is, thanks to a admittedly anonymous hint, evidence that that might not be the case. Say evidence, it's pretty loose, all things considered. We hear rumors of them moving equipment that is of a slightly more magical nature than what should just otherwise be mundane drugs and guns.
So I'm guessing because it's quite loose, we can't just barge in and...
No, that's a bad idea. That's a really bad idea.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's perfectly acceptable for us to go there and find out nothing and come back and then go, there's nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
if
you're
there
you're
is
you're there
nothing-
to approve or disprove. Like, if they turn out to be above board, then that's fine. We have no issues of any kind.
Alright, just making sure there's no reason to stress for what we need to try and get.
Here is a picture of the boss of the Delfino family.
Is that a girl or a guy?
It is a dude.
Oh,
I'm sure I was immediately upset.
nah, I wasn't going to get involved with gangs anyway. Too high risk.
This is
No.
Paul Delfino. To most, he appears as like a rather deeply tanned individual without massive head horns. And he has a brother and a sister in the family. See here. Looks similar. And let's grab you. These are...
I've seen that. I've seen that art before. The one that ends.
I'm not surprised. I get most of my token art out of just like random art that gets posted in various chats and stuff. There's Jacob Delfino.
Oh no, don't use that name.
Why not? Not a big fan.
Well, it's like your thing with you don't want characters named after you.
Of course. All right then. Go with Lewis Delfino then.
Oh, just Jake.
Yeah. This will be Tammy Delfino. All things told, that they do appear to be blood related. Although, of course, they are tieflings that didn't come out into the world as the Delfino family. They, moved up through ranks of normal crime the normal way, all things considered. But they are, for all intents and purposes, your targets to, get information out of. They'd be the ones most in the know, but if you can acquire it in other ways, then obviously go for it. We'll just leave them all sat here in your IT room. You can view them at your leisure.
Can I install the chip? Can I take the chip to install information to my mobile?
Yeah, sure. It's just on an SD card, so you can probably pop it in your laptop and then just USB it over, unless you've got an SD slot on your smartphone.
don't
Yeah, I
think
do.
they-
Cool.
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
Like an
I've got one on
actual-
my real life one.
Ah,
Fair enough.
okay. Wait, do you mean like a micro SD or just like an actual SD?
I think you can get a big enough phone to have both, but we'll just say for this that it is.
Yep, that's fine.
Ariel was the other person who was good with computers, right?
No.
She is actual like manual lockpicking and security devices.
Security tool. Yep.
Wait,
No,
who
I
here's
don't
meant to be good? Who here's good
You.
with IT?
You.
Alright, cool, wonderful. The person who's got like low wisdom. No, high
Okay.
wisdom but low intelligence.
You use
Alright,
intelligence for it.
Yeah.
Alright. I can get that put onto the computers and then
Yeah, that in and of
I was just
itself is not difficult, and you can review
No,
the
I
basic
just-
photography.
I wanted to ask whether we had like a cloud system so I could put it on our cloud. So that way if anyone did get a mobile phone, they could just pull it from the cloud
No, that's not safe.
or anywhere.
Absolutely not.
Oh, not safe.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely no wireless internet or information storage, please. Use hard
That's just
storage.
asking for trouble.
Yes, they use hard storage only.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I can
Especially if a
put it all
wizard
over the-
steals it out of the air, which is a thing that some can do.
Yeah, so I put it on the computers.
Great. And says they bet in grade school was made fun of as the lewd Dolphinino. I mean, for one, he would have, probably been an adult or adult looking whenever he appeared at literally any point in history. So I don't think he ever went to grade school. And then if you're making fun of someone who's, destined to become a gang leader, they're probably the kind of person you didn't really want to piss off, like, ever.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
they probably did pretty. They probably were like the guy bullying you in school, as opposed to you bullying them.
If they even went to any sort of school.
No, they went to tiefling school on the other side of the shadow.
I think the only person bullying them is usually their parent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually had real names, like, like Envy or Creed, like, just some kind of emotion name. And then they had Paul, Lewis, and Tammy. That's the
They just ran out of names.
taken names. Being in the human world.
I mean, I don't know. You could get away with some pretty crazy names nowadays.
I suppose. Yeah. What would you guys like to do? You've been given an address for the office block. You'll have to look around if you want to find out if they have a store warehouse and where it is. There's a lot about them that is totally unknown, but, a tip-off that they might be moving around magical equipment is, immediately harbors looking into. It seems like a simple enough first job to see if you guys are any good at your jobs.
Vatica has an idea. She'll say, well, if Amisham wants to, we could always, if Amisham wants to, you could pretend to be a buyer of magic goods and he could always approach them and see if they were willing to sell him anything.
It's not impossible.
Because he's the most otherworldly of us, and he's a goblin, so they might be, it's the most realistic sort of buyer, I assume. Sure, there are human buyers, but I'm sure that they require a bit more convincing to be able to purchase such a product.
Yep. Hera will spread her hands and, well, I mean, it's not the worst idea I've had, and regardless, it seems you got this well in hand. I've got my phone if you guys need me. Please don't need me.
We'll try not to.
Awesome.
Ah.
I'm sorry, Amashan.
You will give Amisham a fist bump and then head out.
Bye bye.
You sound like some sort of adorable kid.
Yep.
So, everyone knows goblins are small and poor. Goblins would never have money to buy magic goods.
Yeah, that's why you need to pretend to be the foreman who is buying it for a bigger, badder person.
Tell me.
Ah, like Dragon Minion. I can do
Ow.
a Dragon Minion.
I've got a
Jesus
fucking...
sorry.
Oh my god, that was so loud.
Uh,
God damn.
tell me, Amisham, do you actually have past experience with telling lies to people and actually deceiving them with like that, or any sort of like that?
Why lie when I have real experience of being a dragon's minion? I was
Exactly.
Proud Goblin number 72.
Exactly.
Proud goblin. I immediately see through your lie.
No,
Roll
no,
deception.
All we need to do is have Amshan go along, and because for all means and purposes, I want him to buy me magical goods. So he can just half speak in Goblin, half speak in people language, half speak Russian, and they'll go, "Yeah, that's a Goblin."
Yeah, that's totally.
not the problem, because many people are working.
Yeah,
What?
puppers.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
It
Amisham
actually
for a
sounded more
second.
like someone was squeezing a swan.
I thought that was Mazin trying to get into character.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Amersham has a hairball.
It's like
Not on the carpet,
shouts.
Amersham, please.
We go to the sink or somewhere not carpet.
I mean, it depends how you want to approach it. I mean, I'm sure we can go through several avenues to see what we can find out. I just think it's good to vary our approach.
Let's get a scope of what's actually going down there first before we make any plans to try and meet up with them or talk with them at least.
I mean, if they're successful, the job's not going to find out a whole lot. Crime syndicates don't normally go, by the way, doing crime here, because they need to keep it away from the mundane world as well.
But I
The
guess we need-
mundane world has a way of not seeing what it wants to not see anyway.
Don't crime syndicates paint all of their clan symbols everywhere?
We're not in Russia right now, Amjan. It's not a source of pride in the US.
Sure it is,
Not
and then you
really.
just look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
like sure it is, and then you look up and it says Alliance Bank on the top of a building. You're like, oh yeah, you're right, they do still do that.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's a little different.
the biggest ones do.
Does Amsham actually have like a glamour?
Good question. Do you or do you pose as a small deformed man?
Well, how
Could it
about
be
he just
both?
poses? He can pose as a teenager if he wants to.
But he's not big enough to be a teenager.
He's got a huge head and massive ears and a beaky nose. He looks
And
like
that too.
when people look at Amersham, like without a glamour, their brain will immediately have to start doing a lot of gymnastics, and what they will see is a small shriveled man with a terrible skin condition, some kind of deformity.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
what
you know, like
about-
a circus, like a actor, like freak show kind of thing. That's what they'd see basically.
Maybe he could be like a 10-year-old as a glamour.
Yeah, as an actual glamour though, you
Yeah.
start posing as humanity, and yeah, like, do you own a glamour, Amersham?
I think that was something we were allowed to start with, yes.
Correct, if you needed
without
it,
having
yeah.
to pay for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it'd be best if you come along with me, Amjan, so that way if you have any bursts of excitement, I can play it off that you're just very Russian. And
I'm
you
sorry
to-
that my 10-year-old
Right,
Russian
well.
child is screaming curse words again and trying
Look,
to start a
look, we'll say-
fire.
we'll say-
It happens.
We'll say brother rather than child.
Oh.
Like it doesn't look that hot.
Okay.
I'll just say he's a bit on the spectrum.
Would anyone like to give me a roll for like scoping this place out then, or indeed it's something you can do
Sure.
as a group role, like getting the lay of these surroundings?
Yeah.
what would you
what do we
like?
roll for that?
You'll make a
Would you
skill
like a-
test of it.
Would you like investigation or perception?
It depends
I'm
what you
pretty
want to
good,
throw
yeah.
at it. You could put social skills to the task. Essentially, I'm going to be tracking successes and failures.
I'm gonna use
Alright.
it.
I would like to use persuasion to try and talk to some of the more people around and see if like they've seen, well, not crazy things, but like what's up with the building and everything like that kind of stuff, you know?
Sure.
I'm
okay
gonna
then.
use perception if that's okay.
Yeah, we'll do them one at a time. Okay. Let's see your persuasion roll for socializing around.
Sorry, I clicked it.
It's okay. Oh, they're good rolls.
25.
Sick. Okay. This is right there between the two of you. Okay, so from asking around, you find out like they have one of the smaller buildings around here. Like actually going up to the building, you can see that there are like other businesses that operate in that place. Like some people are in the business of like mortgages and like housing and real estates and stuff. So you're able to like go in and ask around because those are the kind of offices that you go into to talk to people for. You can use that opportunity to learn more about their neighbors.
Right.
They are inconspicuous, like in every way. Like there's no stories about shit that they get up to. Like people go into work and they leave and they never turn up for any like block building things. Never really run parties. Although a number of the people who work there go to a nearby hotel. The hotel's got quite a large bar in it. And that's where they tend to go at the end of a day, if they do anything at all.
Weird. Usually you hear at least like something about other people going on about it. Not just nothing at all.
Well, from what you're aware of, the place is supposed to be a front, so it's not totally out of the realm of possibility, but it is strange that they are that inconspicuous, yes.
Yeah, well I mean like that's just for talking with people like normal people like with that, yeah. You hear stuff go around in the building, not just like, oh, nothing ever goes on up there, you know?
Out of interest, do I get any I just thought, would me and Amshan get any bonuses because we were both in criminal backgrounds?
I'm not a criminal background.
I'm a
No, me and
So-
Amsham,
Oh.
because with the perception and knowing what to look for.
Usually you ask that before you roll, but in this case,
Sorry.
I would have probably lowered the DC a bit, and, well, an 18 handles that pretty fucking admirably at your levels anyway. So,
Alright, cool.
indeed, you spend some time out with Amersham, seeing as you've already rolled. Amersham, if you would like to do a separate roll, you're welcome to do so. Perception or investigation if it's a visual check. Or likewise, you might want to actually go up as this weird screechy 10-year-old and ask people questions. I don't know if you're feeling social enough.
Ah, yes, with my negative charisma.
Yeah. Well, you
I
look.
think,
I mean, where do I start with your
uh,
many
hold it.
negatives?
Actually,
I actually only have
Let's
2
see.
outright negatives. I just have very few positives.
You and me are in the same boat, brother. Yeah. Good point.
Whatever.
You and me are in the same boat, my dude. There
we
we
could
go.
actually, we could be more.
You're breaking up
daring with
terribly.
How,
You're
sorry, is this better?
not really. No, it's your connection. It sounded
Let
like
me
absolute dog
leave
shit.
and join. Let me leave and join the call.
Sure. One day, gotta get yourself some internet that isn't fucking horse shit.
Is that better or?
It is for now, yes. Okay, so it looks like Freya's going to be doing the heavy lifting there. Amersham scores a failure, which is fun.
I might as well throw investigation at it.
One sec,
if-
I want to describe what they do see there. Sorry, you had a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say what we could do is even with the failure, we could do that. Couldn't I use that as an advantage in the sense that we could be deliberately more overtly looking in places where we shouldn't be, and I could try and play it off. Oh, Amjan's just got lost, and I had to recover him, and then
Oh, you want-
Amjan being Amjan.
Make a deception
So-
check.
Amjan being
So normally that'd be like something you get assistance with, like that kind of thing. Not just
Yeah, you can
two
get you
separate
can
rolls
you
for
can
things.
get you can give me a deception with advantage. Amersham is working with you to apply a deception. First, let me tell you what you do see with your perception, because you do see stuff when you're looking around.
cool.
For one, you see that you yourselves are noticed, and occasionally, very occasionally, a like white panel van. It's got no business markings on it. Will leave the building and then, sorry, we'll leave the van and then go into the building and leave the building again. This individual wears a very obvious security vest on his person, like a proper bulletproof vest, and they are holding like one of those like an accounts office money box. And that happens like a couple times a day. And if at any point you were like, looking at the door, even you can see which like office buzzer he's pressing when he moves up. With an 18, yeah, you can see this guy, this security-looking individual is going up into their building, the Delfino's building, and then leaving again with accounts box full of money.
Okay.
Usually the kind of thing for petty cash and all that, but probably not petty cash. And now, yes, give me a deception check with advantage if you're going to try and apply this little scam.
Let's have a look. I can find where my deception skill is.
Should be near the top.
Yep, I believe they're
I just
advertised. Oh, another 18 sec.
1 sec, I just left the accident.
Pardon, sorry?
I didn't understand a word of that.
Sorry, I just left the roll 20 by accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Okay. With that little deception, sure, you can try and play yourselves off as looking a little bit too closely into their criminal elements and sort of set an image up about yourself. Ow. Ow. When not talking,
What's wrong?
When not talking, please be mute, because there's just weird crack noises just came through your microphone there.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, that's weird. Sorry.
Let's see here. Next up. Who else hasn't done it?
I was gonna roll
interesting.
investigation.
Alright, go for it. That is a success.
Alright then.
Now, assuming Bob doesn't crit fail, he'll be successful. Nice. Wait, that deception. Mark that on a separate line though, because